Hello, hello. Welcome to the 44th episode of the Veggies Abroad Vegan Travel Podcast with the Chief Veggie Pusher, myself, Rebecca Gade Sawicki. Some of you may already be familiar with Veggies Abroad, but for those of you who aren't, we're a full-service vegan travel company that offers custom planning services, small group trips, a helpful blog chock full of just about everything a vegan or veg-curious traveler could possibly need to plan an adventure, and this podcast. With this podcast, I aim to amplify the voices of businesses championing vegan and vegan-friendly options, responsible tourism practices, the environment, and community impact. All things that we need more of and must actively support. Before we jump into talking about one of my absolute favorite places on the planet, seriously, sometimes, no, maybe all the time, I daydream about being there. I've got a couple of fun veggie adventure updates. The first is that we have a new trip for 2026 to beautiful Costa Rica. We ran this trip last year and it was an absolute blast. It was a no-brainer to bring it back, but also add a little bit more fun to it. New for 2026 will include a stop to the remote wilderness of Tortuguero National Park, known as Costa Rica's Amazon. Many visitors skip visiting this beautiful place because it takes more effort to get there, but the effort is worth it. It's a famous nesting area for green sea turtles and other turtles, which we might get lucky to see. But it's also home to jaguars, caimans, green macaws, and many types of monkeys, and so much more. In all of our trips, when possible, we try to add in ways to directly connect and support local communities. And that's the second new addition to this trip. After leaving Tortuguero, we will visit and have a one-night stay with a local family through a rural tourism initiative founded by a group of women determined to preserve their cultural traditions, protect the land, and create financial independence. So maybe you're thinking, when is this amazing adventure? Well, it's April 6th through 15th of next year. All of the rest of the details and the full itinerary is on the website. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out or set up a quick chat with me. In addition to Costa Rica, we do have some spots still available for our Kenya safari next June, but the other trips for next year are sold out. Don't worry, I am finalizing some other trips to Colombia, Iceland, and Thailand for next year. Speaking of Thailand, we do have a couple spots left on our December departure for this year, 2025, in case you're still thinking about doing something for this year. In order to be the first to hear about any of next year's adventures and others in the future, join our newsletter. The link is in the show notes. I always announce new trips there first before sharing them anywhere else. Okay, so let's get back to the topic at hand, possibly my happiest place on earth. This actually might be my version of Disney, now that I think of it. I wish I could keep teasing it, but you already know from the headline, it's Palmaïa, the House of AïA in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Joining me to chat about this incredible place is my part-time traveling partner and Duolingo's biggest fan, yet still can't pronounce Spanish words, who actually got to come on this adventure, Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hola.
Well, you got that Spanish word down. So I have to share that after writing the intro, I thought I would ask ChatGPT if it had funnier titles for you, and it came up with some pretty entertaining ones. So the first is, this is Matt, my part-time travel companion, full-time conspiracy theorist about hotel pillows, which I don't know is completely fitting. You're not really a conspiracy theorist about hotel pillows. You're a conspiracy theorist about maybe other things, but not hotel pillows.
Yeah, I don't think they're putting microphones in the pillows or anything.
No. I mean, I hope not. Okay, so the second one, there's three, just so you don't think I'm going to keep going on for like the entire hour.
Oh, boy.
Joining me is Matt, a man who once tried to bribe a goat for directions and lived to tell the tale. I feel like this could actually be factual, though. I can imagine you talking to a goat, bribing a goat, all of the above.
Well, Billy really knows the terrain, so why wouldn't you?
Did you just give him a name? Oh my God. The last one, which I think is far more appropriate. Joining me is Matt, part-time travel companion, full-time dessert hoarder, cat whisperer, and the only man who thinks a midday jog in Mexican summer heat is a good idea.
Okay, but it wasn't a midday jog. It was early in the morning.
And there it is.
And the cat whisperer part is 100% true. So I'll take that one.
So that might be your title now moving forward. Every time that you're on this podcast, I'm going to have to keep that. Or maybe I'll keep asking ChatGPT for more options because these keep getting better and better. And no matter if it was a midday jog or a mid-morning jog, it didn't matter because the heat was crazy. But anyway, we need to move on. Otherwise,
let's talk about the House of AïA.
Palmaïa. Lovely, lovely, lovely place. And this was, I've been twice. I'm lucky enough to have been able to go twice. This was your first time. And to set the stage for people who are listening who are like, Palmaïa, the house of what? Where the heck is this? It is located in the Riviera Maya, technically Playa del Carmen. It is kind of tucked away between the jungle and the beach. It has its own private beach. And it's the last resort on this strip of beach as well, too. So you don't have to share it with anybody else, which is really nice. And I think what this audience might really be keen to know is that it has a real plant-based focus on food. Everything is forward on that. We were talking to a couple that was there, or a gentleman that was there, and he laughed and he was like, generally we have to, cobble together something that's vegan or vegetarian. And at this place, the meat eaters have to cobble together like trying to make something with meat in it, which is really nice. And they have a holistic wellness focus and a holistic spiritual kind of focus, and a focus on sustainability as well. And then the guy who started this, his family is also involved with other resorts, but he designed this kind of after his own way of living and, inner exploration, respect for nature, which you can actually see in how the resort has been created. It's just a really beautiful, beautiful place. And it's a smaller place. Many of the resorts throughout that area are giant. Like we're talking 1,000+ rooms. There are only 234 here. So you can already, if you imagine this in your head, a very serene, lovely place, amazing, amazing food, super beautiful, and you're not in a line with 800 other people. What were your first impressions?
Well, I felt like this place was very secluded. It feels like you're right in the jungle. I didn't expect to see monkeys there.
You didn't? Why?
I don't know. I've been to Mexico quite a few times, and I had never seen the monkeys like I had seen there. Like they were crawling through the place. It was really cool.
They knew this was their safe place. They were right, exactly. Oh, we have to come here. It's so zen and amazing.
Yes, we need to go do some yoga. But yeah, my
and steal a donut from Plantisa.
Yeah.
No donuts were harmed in anything. I mean, no monkeys were given donuts either.
It felt like a whirlwind to me, though. Like we got there, it was a surprise for me. I didn't know I was going there. So we got there, and then when we get there, we went straight to a vegan taco truck. And
yeah, how often does that happen?
Never. That never happens. You don't get somewhere and go, oh, we got to get to this vegan taco truck right away before it closes.
Well, not at a resort. If you're going to a city, okay, yes. But you're going to a resort or a hotel or some kind of pretty retreat or whatever, there's generally never a vegan taco truck involved.
But I'll say when I went there, I was first honestly a little bit hesitant. I knew there were a bunch of different activities, and I was worried. I was like, are some of these things just hokey, not things that I would really do? And
do you mean too wooey?
Yeah, wooey or whatever you want to say. Your words, not mine. But anyway, so
it's better than hokey.
Yeah, I was just a little.
I mean, are you a million hokey?
I guess I am a million. I mean, I can't say I'm not. But anyway, so I get there, I'm a little apprehensive, but I think just diving in and just allowing yourself to do everything that they offer, and just knowing that you're going to be relaxed, you're going to try new things, you're going to eat so well.
You're like jumping ahead. This was just first impressions. Like
this is like, these are the things that rushed into my head as I think about this place. And there's so much I want to say. I'm too excited. So I don't mean to get ahead if I am.
Yeah, you are. Like, you're just to fill this whole episode up with your meandering, your wonderful thoughts about the Palmaïa. Yeah, I'd say, so my first impressions from the first time that I visited when I got there was, this place is different. Because when I got there, just like the mix of the ambiance, the people, the atmosphere, the smells, I immediately felt really relaxed. I am not joking when I say that this is one place in the world where I go and I'm like, okay, I feel my shoulders drop. I feel relaxed. I don't feel as stressed about checking my email 800 times. I mean, maybe I will check it 700 instead. And it's just like, there is a peace. And we chatted with somebody there who works there, and she was saying, like, you know, that there's like a special energy there. And I will say, like, I'm mildly wooey. I do enjoy wellness, spiritual things. But I don't know that I would have ever believed someone previously about like necessarily like certain energies and places, but I totally believe it there. There is a special energy. There is something going through that place. They have captured it. They're doing amazing things. And it's like, it was totally apparent to me when I first like went to my room the very first time. And I just like laid in the bed and I was like, this place is amazing. It is special.
You can feel it. Like, you can feel it in the way that the people are and how they treat you. You can feel it, like,
it's just different.
Yeah. And in the way that the place is set up, and, you know, and how private it feels. Like, you can really feel like it's just felt different. It didn't feel like any resort I had ever been to. Absolutely.
And I feel like, so I should preface this. I visit a ton of places around the world. I've been to, I've slept in hostels on up to really legit, super, super nice places. We're not getting paid for any of this. This is truly our own personal thoughts about the Palmaïa. It's not being influenced. If you ask me about other hotels around the world, I'll give you my honest opinion about it as well too. But I feel like that should give you some basis as well. Like, I've seen a lot of places. I've slept on a lot of beds. I've had a lot of experiences. And the Palmaïa is legitimately unlike anywhere else I've ever been. Honestly, it is my Disney World. I've still, like, from us leaving, thought about, like, could I make it back there anytime soon? It's not realistic. I do not have, well, maybe I could make the time in my calendar. No, I don't have the time in my calendar. But that's just like how much like love and like right off the top feeling I have for that place. Oh, and our cat, if anybody can hear her, is in the background and she's chiming in as well too.
Yes. I agree 100% with you. It's just a great place.
So,
I know
okay.
We're giving an ad here, but
yeah. Anyway, keeping it moving. We'll talk about our room. So there are multiple different room options throughout the property. There is an adults only section to the property and then a regular section. Generally, whenever I talk to clients, I've sent many clients here. It's one of my favorite places to send clients because they just are like bowled over at like just the amazingness of everything, the food, the activities, everything. And everyone always feels like, oh my gosh, I have to be in the adults only section. Actually, in both times that I've been there, I've never stayed in the adults only section. There are children on property. This was like the first time I actually saw kids. But this isn't the type of place that really draws kids. So I don't think you have to worry about this being like a Club Med type experience. You're not going to ever feel like, oh my God, if I hear one more child scream, I'm going to lose my mind. There is like a separate kids program. I did see maybe a few kids partake in that, but it is completely different with that. So I wouldn't get obsessed with like, oh, you have to be in the adults only area. I don't think it makes a huge difference unless you truly, truly just want to be secluded, like, because it is the last building in the resort. But there are a couple different styles. There's a family room, which is pretty giant, obviously for families. And then from there is a king suite and a queen suite. And the queen suite has 2 beds. The king suite, which we had, there are a couple versions of that. One with an ocean view, one without an ocean view, and then a higher level is one with a bathtub, which is what we had with an ocean view, which is really nice because when you first walk in, the windows are open. And you can see right into the turquoise ocean, and it's beautiful. Like I still can picture it in my mind, and it's just like, oh my gosh, that is paradise right in front of us. What did you think about our room and all of the things in it? Because I'm holding back. There's also a mini bar with some special things in it as well.
Yeah, the room was fantastic. I can basically judge a room on how the bed is, and if the bed's not comfortable, I typically don't like the hotel. But
really, everything boils down to just the bed?
Well, like you're essentially there for the room to sleep, right? Like, and if they can't get the bed right, then
wow, tough.
That's a big deal for me. Like that's almost a deal breaker. I've stayed in like some really nice rooms, but the bed was just awful. But here it was like, it was a very comfortable bed. They had in our room, they had a couch, but it was like a double wide couch almost.
Oh yeah. You love that couch.
I loved laying on that couch. I would like to have one of those in your office. If I wanted to talk to you, as long as you don't shrink.
Yeah. I don't think we're getting one of those because that means you might come up here far too often.
Yeah, that would be rough. But yeah, the view was amazing. I loved having like a little balcony with a couple seats out on it.
Oh yeah, the balcony. Yes. Have to have a balcony.
The shower was great. I like when they take the toilet room and have it in its own separate room. Like that's important to me sometimes, especially if you're getting a suite, which I don't stay in very often. But I thought the room was absolutely fantastic. Plus, I know you're going to talk about the mini bar full of kombucha.
Yes, my favorite thing ever. Actually, your favorite thing ever, maybe.
Yeah, that was absolutely stupendous. Down to like the chocolate they bring you. I don't know if that's part of the room, but and then room service, like you can get it anytime you want here.
Oh, now you're jumping ahead.
Okay, I'm jumping
That's in the food section of this program.
Okay,
yeah. So going along with like the wellness focus and the mini bar, you're going to find the wellness, and I would say the local community focus as well. You're going to find all products that have been made in Mexico. And so we had agua frescas, and maybe some local sodas that were super tasty, and then also kombucha. The kombucha was great. I really remember the label of the kombucha, actually, because it was really artistic. And that brand, I wish I could remember the name of the brand. Like, they did a really, really nice job. It seemed very thoughtful. They also left us some snacks, which was nice as well. But I really liked that the mini bar was different, and it was a continuation of like the overall focus on like wellness, and not. There also isn't added sugar. They don't use sugar in any of the items throughout the property. So there's like agave in your next to your coffee. All of the drinks and things are naturally sweetened, which is really nice. So it's like one place where you go, like you like check out, you relax, but you don't feel bad about it. You're not like, oh, I just like, I don't know, I can't think of something terrible. I've had too many Fantas or whatever. I don't actually drink Fanta, but that was the first thing that came to mind. But you like get what you mean. Hopefully you get what I mean. And so I really liked that. I don't know. That's just something special for me, for sure. And
there was also coconut water in the fridge, too.
Oh, yes, coconut water. I've kind of become a little obsessed with coconut water after leaving.
After you left, you went to the store and you literally bought like 5 gallons, it feels like, of coconut water.
I do not have 5 gallons of coconut water, folks. There is some exaggeration here from the goat herder. This is like your new drink now. Like, you're so into coconut water, which I get. Yeah. It's absolutely delicious. And it's delicious. It's good. It's full of electrolytes, and it makes me think of Palmaïa as I'm sitting typing away for 10 hours at my desk. So leave me alone. Okay, fair. I get it. Anyway, the only thing that I didn't like about our room is that, so we had the room with the bathtub, It's more, and I've actually sent honeymooners there and they've utilized this room and they didn't share this with me. So maybe it's just a me thing. A personal choice is that there isn't a barrier between like the bathtub and the room and like the start of the rest of the bathroom. So that's like one all open thing. So if you have to get up in the middle of the night, you could wake up the other person. I did that because you can't, it's everything's dark and it's hard to see. So that's just one thing to like keep in mind if you're booking a room. Like maybe you want that partition because the other rooms all have a wall there, so there's still some division, and a little bit more privacy. But if you really want a bathtub, then that's the only way that you're getting a bathtub. We didn't actually end up using the bathtub, which was probably a sad loss on our part.
I think if I were to go back, I loved our room, but I'm really torn. I feel like I would have liked one of the rooms where the pool was attached to the room. You could just jump right in the pool from the balcony there.
That would be nice.
I really liked being able to get up and look at the ocean. I thought that was wonderful. But I think it would have been nice to be able to like swim out from my room, out to the bar and grab something and maybe come back to the room. Like grab a nice mocktail and hang out on the patio after doing that. I think that would be cool. But
yeah,
I might do that next time.
Yeah, I think your first time, go with the ocean view. Second time, do the swim up option because it's so nice to see the ocean when you first wake up. But you still kind of can see it from some of the suites. It just depends because there's a lot of foliage. They've built the property around the jungle. So, there are large chunks where there's a bit of jungleness, built into pools and things, which is really nice. It makes it really pretty, but that can obstruct some views. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's a bad room in the place.
I think you liked being on the 5th floor though, because you got to climb those stairs every single day, like 3 or 4 times a day, and show how fast you can climb stairs. It's unreal.
Yeah, I am fast, but also I needed to do it because I spent way too much time at Plantisa, which can move us on to our next section to talk about, which is food. There are multiple restaurants on the property. They all focus on different cuisines. So Su Casa is right on the beach, and it has I guess I would say like an international focus. You'll find a little bit of everything there. Mare di Olivo is a Mediterranean Italian spot. Ume is Asian. Lek is a Mexican focus. Then there's Charlie's Tacos, which is the awesome taco truck, and then Plantisa. And Plantisa is this super beautiful, like I want to move in there, cafe that does juices, wellness like shots, juice shots, smoothies, sandwiches. They have a little bakery, coffee, like everything under the sun. And honestly, it looks like if Anthropologie was to create a cafe, it would probably look something like this. But everything in that place is just from the wallpaper, which I'm not even sure it's wallpaper. I think some of that might have been hand painted. But from like the walls to the furniture to the cute little donuts, everything is really, really thoughtfully put together, and it works so well, and it's just beautiful. And then the last area where you can get food is room service, which I don't know about anybody listening. I don't know. I was actually really trying to think about this. If I had ordered room service at other hotels and like had multiple options, I think generally maybe I've had room service once or twice in my life, total life. And I'm going to guess it was probably like a plain oatmeal or salad or something, because there's generally no options for us. There's like nothing. You could get, I think I had a hotel recently tell me, well, you could get the pizza without cheese. And I was like, yeah, because that sounds like fun, doesn't it? And I really want to spend more than $20 on that. Have you lost your absolute mind? Anyway, that's a different podcast. What were your favorite meals?
It's really hard to choose just one meal. Like, I was literally full after every single meal.
I know, but you kept eating.
I just felt like I had to. It's funny, when we first got there, I found that there was a scale in our room, and I never look at those scales. Like, I don't usually care, but I was like, you know what? I think this is one of those times where you weigh yourself at the beginning and you weigh yourself at the end. And surprisingly, I only gained about 2 pounds, but
we were only there 5 days. Were we there 5 days?
We were only there for 5 days. We added
4 days. We were there 4 full days. So so 2 pounds in 4 full days. I mean, I think that seems pretty good. Maybe you should have worked harder.
I guess that's a half a pound a day, right? So that's all right.
Hey there, fantastic listeners. Let's hit pause on this episode for a thrilling announcement, a golden ticket to globetrot with Veggies Abroad. Veggies Abroad isn't just your go-to for vegan guides and trip planning tips. It's your passport to extraordinary small group journeys, carefully crafted by the ultimate veggie pusher and your favorite podcast host, me, Rebecca Gade Sawicki. I've spent countless hours researching the best vegan hotels, food, and experiences, and now I'm bringing those experiences directly to you. Join me and my newfound veggie pals on escapades to exotic and exciting destinations around the world, whether it's trekking through the Thai jungle to witness elephants in their natural habitat or exploring Iceland's famous ring road. Our adventures are nothing short of spectacular, and guess what? Those aren't the only exciting trips awaiting you. So what are you waiting for? Cruise on over to veggiesabroad.com pronto. Well, how about after this episode is over to explore our dazzling lineup of tours and secure your spot today.
But for me, I mean, there's nothing that I didn't like, but I really liked Sukasa. I thought it was nice to be outside, looking at the ocean. And the food there, they were open. That place was open for lunch and dinner every day. So not each one of these places obviously is open all the time. And you have to make reservations for like dinner for certain places. But Sukasa was basically open for lunch and dinner every day. Correct? Lunch or breakfast and...
It was open for breakfast and lunch every day, and then dinner select nights.
Yes. And so I really liked we had breakfast there only once, but the breakfast I thought was great. That was kind of your huevos rancheros.
Pancakes, waffles. They had a really big mix of things. And one thing you missed is that when you first walk in, there's like this little box with some pastries. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit hidden, but you missed it.
And you didn't point it out to me?
I pointed out. This is my fault. Yes, it is. I'm a terrible travel planner. I told you near the end of the meal.
Oh, I can't believe I missed that pastry box. Oh, geez. And I was already so full at that point that I couldn't go and eat them.
I feel like you still would have tried.
I still probably should have tried. But yeah, so Sukasa I thought was really, really great. But at the same time, Plantisa, you can walk in there, during the hours that they're open, which is like, I don't know, 8 to 5. 8 to 5. I feel like it was earlier than that. But anyway, you walk in there,
8 to 5.
You can grab different power shots, like turmeric ginger type shots, like things like that. You can grab smoothies, and the smoothies are wonderful. I'm a big fan of a cacao smoothie. And then you can get like a protein waffle, or you can get different types of sandwiches, and they make all their bread in-house. And they have all of those little pastries and goodies in that little box, and you can just go, oh, I want a chocolate chip cookie, and I want some power balls, and I want a big piece of banana bread, and then I also want a chai. Ooh, wait, but it's too hot. I'm not going to drink a chai. Make it iced. I want all of these things. And then you go...
And you can have all of them.
Yes, and it's like not weird to eat all that stuff. Although, the funny thing is we talked about this there. It's like we were kind of, or at least I was, taught to eat everything on your plate, and not to waste food. So we don't try to waste. And so you get all this stuff and you eat it all because you can, and then you're just like, I need to go lay down.
Okay, we're going to back up there. I do not think that you ate everything because you were worried about waste. I think, one, you were very excited that there were so many options and you went a little bit crazy. And 2, you do like to eat. Like, let's not be shy about this. You are an eater.
Okay, fair.
Coming from the guy who was just bragging how he gained 2 pounds in 4 days.
And I guess the cool thing is, so without going directly and saying everything that I ate at every place, I think what was the best about everything was that there's just so much variety. Like,
yes,
you can have almost anything under the sun. I mean, I think I had pizza at one point, and it was top notch. They have a pizza oven at Sukasa on the beach. To having like these like gourmet tacos out of this taco food truck and plantains.
Those tacos. Oh my gosh.
Plantains. Yes. And they're cooked perfectly. And you can go and you can say hello to the person that cooked the food for you. It's just, and then special mocktails at each place, like different drinks at different meals. Like, it was so great, you know? I mean, it was, the food was just absolutely 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, yeah. Maybe like 1,000 out of 10. So we were talking about this before we left, and I was like struggling with like my favorite thing, because there's just like so many. I think maybe, so I vary here, and I'm not gonna pick like one favorite thing because I just can't, and I don't have to. Charlie's Tacos was definitely like near the top. I'm gonna say these are ties, because like generally when we get tacos, if you just like went to a regular taco place, it's like there's one vegan option, and maybe it's like buffalo cauliflower or black bean or whatever. Like, these are super creative. Like, they make their own chorizo with a garbanzo bean concoction. And then there was like some pickled vegetables and house-made sauces, like a house-made cashew cream was on there, and some house-made avocado sauce, and just like the seasonings and the flavors. It was just wow. Like, that's like the best words that I have for it. And everything was colorful and inviting, and you just like, you wanted to try everything on the menu, because like, why not? But also, it was just beautiful, super beautiful. And then I've already gushed about loving Plantisa. What I really loved about Plantisa is that, every day I'm a big juice drinker. We make smoothies every morning. I do really enjoy like still having that as a part of like my daily repertoire when I'm traveling, but often I don't get to have that. Or like the juices that I find in certain places are like just all fruit, or they're like with added sugar or whatever. And so this place, like, everything's organic. Everything, a lot of the vegetables and things that they're bringing in, they're locally sourcing them. They're like really being thoughtful with like what pairs well with what, and like what can help you with this health ailment and that. And so that just like, that was like a personal choice. Like, it really fits me really well, and just like was lovely to have that as an option. Then I could go and get a ginger turmeric shot. And I think it had CBD oil or something in one of them too, which I thought that was really interesting. Or a green smoothie, whatever. Like, they've got all of it. And then I really love Sukasa as well too. So it's interesting, is the last time I was there, Sukasa's menu was a little bit different. I would say it's been upgraded a bit this last time. There was a more diversity of options. Flavors really, really good. I had multiple bowls. You had what was that rice plantain bowl you had there? That was great. And again, like that cashew cream sauce on it, flavors, like it was a really nice balance of like heat and, like nuttiness and cream. Great. Just like great. The views from that place are great too.
Yeah, that CYT bowl is like what I think.
CYT, yeah.
That was so delicious with abuela's arroz.
Not to be confused with a PYT.
Yeah, exactly.
But the views from that place is also really beautiful as well. And one thing I missed is that there is a beach bar. It's called Iolo. And it's also gorgeous, really, really thoughtfully just designed, decorated. And so they do have alcohol. We've talked a lot about like mocktails and kombucha, obviously, to this point, but there is alcohol on site. So if you do want a, cosmopolitan, or you want a beer or whatever, that's all totally possible, and it's all included with your stay. But there is kind of more of a focus on mocktails, and then you can add mezcal to it, you can add vodka to it, you could add rum to it, which is really great. And I really like that because I did give up alcohol at the beginning of the year. And oftentimes mocktails aren't all that exciting. I don't want to Shirley Temple people. And they're all creative as well, like drinks with aquafaba and different like juices that they've just made and spices. I think there was like black pepper and something in one. And just once again, great. I should have like had a menu near me so I could read off some of like the really crazy concoctions. There was one drink that they made us one of the nights that when you put a light under it, it resembled the sun fading into clouds, which was beautiful as well. Like, who thinks of these things? But these are like the things that like when people are like, we have a cauliflower steak. I want to be like, you know what? You need to go to the Palmaïa and work under these chefs because they understand what good food is. They understand like what?
What's wrong with the cauliflower steak? There's nothing wrong with cauliflower steak.
I feel like that's another podcast episode. It just feels like a stand-in option. Like, we don't know what to give the vegans. Give them half a head of cauliflower. I've had a lot of bad cauliflower steaks. I had one where I couldn't get a steak knife through it. So I'm very anti-cauliflower steak.
I guess my point is like a cauliflower steak to me says you're trying, but
no, it doesn't.
A plate of rice and beans tells me, or no rice, just beans. A plate of beans just tells me you're not trying, which I have been served. So anyway,
okay, I'm going to go with all of those things. Tell me that you're not trying, and you need to go to the Palmaïa to learn from these chefs because they're all super creative and amazing, and I have to think of new words to qualify all of their talent and skills. The other thing we didn't mention, actually you mentioned it at the top, is room service. So there's 24-hour room service. It's a smaller menu, but you can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we did get it one night because we just didn't want to like make ourselves presentable. And I got a salad and like a curry or something. You got 2 sandwiches because you're chubby. And
which, by the way, people, he was chasing me around the room with these sandwiches, trying to get me.
Because back to, his desire not to want to waste, he needed to eat these sandwiches. This is what happens when we're on vacation, people. Everything seems so professional over here, but then we go on vacation and the mocktails come out and sandwich chasing happens.
Oh my God. Picture you with 2 sandwiches in each hand, one in each hand, running around a room going, come on and eat it. And I'm running away as hard as I can.
Not that hard.
I ate so much I couldn't eat another bite.
You needed to run so that you could eat the second sandwich. Anyway, I don't know why you're complaining.
Let's tell people about the wellness stuff because that's a huge part of this.
Yeah, it is a huge part. Like in addition to the food, which like, oh gosh, I will have to post some photos when we get this podcast episode up. I will definitely do a bunch of photos to show off all the food. But anyway, moving on. So, wellness activities. Most resorts, retreats, hotels have, standard kind of operating of daily classes. Like you can get your Pilates class, your yoga class, your, water aerobics class. But everything here like still continues with this like wellness, spiritual connection. And it's all meant for you to kind of have time for maybe some introspection, the different way to connect. They also, try and connect it to, Mayan traditions, Mexican traditions as well, which is, really, really interesting. Some of the programming has been developed by a shaman. So I think like off the top of your head, you should like think, okay, we're not messing around here. This isn't just like your, I don't know, like they're not the programming hasn't just been created by someone who was like, you know what, I think breath work is a great idea. Like, let's put it together, or like, let's get people to talk about their problems and, whatever. There's just a lot of thought and, connection. People who have worked in these kind of like traditions and activities, maybe, are coming up through like generations of, these types of like healers and practitioners are teaching some of these classes, which is really kind of amazing. And the first time I went, I thought, I don't want to do some of this stuff. Maybe I hadn't quite hit my woo mark yet. But now I'm like, sign me up for everything. And so it just like kind of give you an example. You will find yoga, breath work classes every morning. All really great. You did a yoga class that you raved about, thought it was wonderful. I didn't get up. I got up in time, but I went to the gym instead, so I did not do yoga. There are other things like sound healing, gong baths. The very first time I went, I did a gratitude and a forgiveness ceremony, which is really, really interesting. And just like it sounds, the person leading it is walking you through ways in which to provide forgiveness to whatever you're holding on to. It can be kind of emotional, so you kind of have to be, a bit ready for something like that. What else is there?
Chanting.
Chanting. Oh, there was, but that has an actual name for it. Gosh, I feel terrible now that I can't think of the name of that. But yes, it's so in Hindu teachings, there are certain sounds that release certain stresses, relax the body. So there was a class that we did about that. There was another class that we did about quantum relationships, yeah, which is interesting. So that talks about like how we're all connected, like everybody, the person you don't know, the person you do know, and where we fall within that, and that it kind of all boils down to we need to take care of ourselves first. And I'm not the expert on all of that, so I won't go into deep detail with any of those. What else did we do? We did a candlelight activity, which was really nice. A candlelight sound bath.
Yeah. So my overall impression, and I guess what I would like to say about the wellness activities is that in your daily life at home, your day-to-day, it's really hard to disconnect when you've got cell phones, you've got TV, maybe you've got your favorite Netflix show, maybe you have a long drive to work where you have to complain about the traffic. Maybe you work from home and you can't get away from your office. Maybe you just have a boss that's just really difficult to deal with, and you have to just suck it up and deal with it. So all of these things that are part of your daily life, I'm not saying all of these are mine. I'm just making examples for people.
No one was going to call you out on any of that. You could have just kept going.
Just saying. So all of these things that are really difficult to deal with in your daily life, you get to Palmaïa and you have to almost tell yourself when you look at these activities, you know what, I'm going to immerse myself here and just do things differently and focus on my well-being, no matter what kind of thoughts you have about, chanting or sound baths or meditation or yoga. Even if you aren't 100% into those things, what's it going to hurt you if you go there and try these things? Maybe you learn something about yourself. Maybe you try something new that makes you feel better, or maybe it gives you like tips and tricks if you're at home and you need to decompress. Maybe you're able to do that. For instance, one of the classes was a meditation class, and the instructor, the first thing he said is, all right, your tongue is connected to your heart.
Oh, I love that guy. He was so great.
This guy was wonderful. And he said, and then your nose, your breathing is connected to your lungs. And basically the point is he's going through these things and he's telling you all of these different things are connected. And in order to shut your brain off, sometimes you have to focus on certain things. So the first thing we would focus on was, all right, take your tongue and have it sit on the bottom of your mouth without touching your teeth or without touching anything else, just sitting naturally in your mouth, not like elevated, because then that, is keeping you moving and you're not going to be able to relax. I will tell you that I use that now. I'm not even kidding. I use that now. Like if I'm having trouble with something and I need to like zone out, I will focus on setting my tongue down flat in my mouth. And just trying to not zone out, but just trying to get to a place where you're more present, where you're more relaxed, and you're more and you're not as focused on everything that's going on around you. So I would say, without going into every single holistic healing thing that we did there, which there were many and they were awesome, I would say that if you go there, I think you should go and you should try things every day, and just enjoy yourself and do something new.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only bummer, and I was sharing this with one of the other people in one of our classes, that it feels like, you want to immerse yourself when all of these things, you want to do all of this stuff. Like you need a week almost to like go through all of these things, like engage with all of these things. And then another week just to like decompress, think about all of it, like absorb all of it. That was the only bummer thing. Cause also then there was more things that we didn't get to do. Yeah, but anyway, that's like life, right? A next time thing.
You can't do everything. Like that's the way it goes. Because at the same time, you don't have to, because you're on vacation. So you're allowing yourself to do the things that you feel connected to and that you want to do. It was really cool. I mean, I think without going into how or why, I think I was affected by most by doing the different wellness sessions while we were there. I think that had a profound effect on me in a positive way. I thought it was really helpful. And I think being able to take little things from that and bring them into your daily hectic regular life is really helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Another 1,000 out of 10 yes. for the programming. And so like the wellness, the activities, and the programming doesn't end there. And all of that is included with your stay, which is really fabulous. One area that isn't included in your stay, but absolutely another 1,000 out of 1,000, is their Atlanta spa. And the spa actually was recently awarded some special accolades, and definitely deserving of it. And the spa, so many people, like when you think of a spa, you're like, okay, I can get a massage, I can, get a facial. And yeah, you can. But I think what is different here is that they've connected like ancient Mayan traditions and healing knowledge with, your massage, with your facial, with all of their practice. And they're passing down like this wisdom of indigenous healing practices. And these are all done by, skilled medicine men and women. And their knowledge is as I'm rambling here, saying passing down from generation to generation. The person, I did a Mexican massage, and it is connected to kind of a power of rebirth. And so there is like a little ceremony that is done before you do the massage. And the woman who did it for me, she was telling me how, when she was little, her grandmother taught her some of these different traditions about like what different herbs meant and why, they would do certain things in a certain order, or the importance with, connection with oneself. And she would say there were certain things like when she was little that her grandma used to do for her, and she still thinks about them and makes her feel warm. And so she did those things for me, which was kind of amazing. But the beginning of that started with this little ceremony where you picture all of the women in your life who have made a profound impact. And so I feel emotional talking about this for some reason. I don't know why. I'm going to say probably it's just Palmaïa again. Like it has its way of this connection. But feel your feelings. But anyway, so you have to picture, women who've had this profound effect on you. And they could be from the past, they could be from the present. They're all sitting in this circle. And she's walking you through this, ceremony, and it was really, really beautiful. And it was, one of those things that you think like, oh, like that, where you could think, like, I don't think, where you could think like, oh, that's kind of silly, but really, like, obviously I'm teary over it. And this has been weeks past, and it wasn't like anything profound happened during it, but obviously I was really touched during it. And I, really enjoyed it. And so this tradition, which is again called a Mexican massage, it's connected to rebirth. It's a good thing to do when you're trying to start something new. All of the things that they use in it are connected to meant to connect with your female energy, which was just like, how many spas do you go to and you find like this kind of activity, this kind of like thoughtfulness, and this kind of, once again, connection to the place. So many places. So this area, everyone knows, is like crawling with resorts and hotels and properties. And a lot of them don't think about the place in which that they're built, the generations of people who might have lived here before, the people who live there still. And that's not the case here. They actually have programming that still connects with the local community, where you can go and meet with a local family. You get to learn about their life. I believe they work in an agricultural trade. And all of the money that you pay to participate in this program goes right back into the community. And so just like with the spa and like all of these activities, like everything is very thoughtful, with still being connected with the people who live and lived here, the traditions that made this land what it is today. And I really love that. Like, that's something to me that is always just, I feel like within travel is super lacking. Like, that we get inundated with fast food chains and another Hilton and another, this and that. And you can get these things like, you wouldn't know, like, if you stepped into a place that, if you went to another Hilton or another fast food place or whatever, that it's in Bangkok or it's in Munich or it's in Mexico. And that's, really sad to me when we lose these things that made the places that they are. I know I'm probably like on a soapbox or rambling here, and hopefully I'm still making sense.
No, it's sad.
But I think that's so important to have that connection. And, many people, I was telling someone about this and they were like, I never really thought about Mayan culture. Like, tell me more about this. And yes, like, we should know about this. You're coming to Mexico. That is so much a part of their history and should be, embraced and still be a part of daily life. And anyway, my soapbox has ended. The spa is amazing. 1,000 out of 10.
I will say I had the same massage, but I had a really nice massage. I didn't see it as that like a women awakening for me.
Well, I was a little bit different. I actually felt bad that you chose that, because I think it was probably more impactful as a woman because of the spiritual nature of it. So they probably changed it a bit for you. There are a ton of options. So for people listening, like, I chose this and Matt just decided to glom on and not read through the brochure. He should have asked for help. And this is what happens when you don't ask for help.
It was a nice massage. I don't think that it was bad at all. And I did have a nice little ceremony at the beginning. I didn't think of all the women in my life, other than I think she mentioned something about women, but I was just, then she rubbed me with some mezcal.
She did not rub you with mezcal.
Yeah, she did. Like,
no, that's not the tincture that was used to do that. That was completely different. Anyway, we're moving on, because now you're taking my like warm, fuzzy, wonderful feelings, and
it was a beautiful thing that you said. It's very nice.
Yeah. The other thing too. So the first time I went, and I cannot for the life of me get the name of it correct. I do not understand why this is such a challenging word for me. But they have something called a Hezmekal ceremony. And so I have seen this now at other resorts and hotels. And I will say, like, if you go somewhere else and they offer this, and what you would see is like a type of sauna, like generally it's some kind of like outdoor igloo. You need to ask them, like, who's leading this type of ceremony, who's developed it, because a lot of hotels and places have just kind of glommed on to some of these things and aren't doing it with the same traditions at heart, and I don't know, they're making it into just another activity without meaning behind it. And so in this, it's again another Mayan tradition, and it starts off with a little ceremony where you give thanks to different elements. So in Mayan culture, fire, wind, land, water are all very important. So you take time to, give thanks to Mother Nature for these things. And the ceremony, it's 3 hours. So this probably already sets the stage that it's fairly intense. And prior to all of this, you do start in a cenote. And so there are multiple cenotes on property at Palmaïa. One that's connected to the spa, only for spa guests, and then another one that is open and you can go in and out of. And so a little backstory, cenotes are considered sacred places by Mayans. For them, water is a symbol of life, and cenotes are also seen as a portal to an underworld. The spiritual and symbolic connection between the Mayans and the cenote is reflected in this mythology where gods and their stories are often linked to these bodies of water. And so with that connection, cenotes were used as sites of worship, offering, and rituals. Mayans used to, or maybe still do, throw precious objects such as jewelry and ceramics into the depths of these pools of water as gestures of like devotion, and to establish a dialogue with a god, asking for protection or abundance. And so the spa and the property, obviously there are multiple, I said, on property of cenotes, you can utilize them. And so they utilize them in the spa activities as a way to kind of like start, like purify, give thanks. And so at the beginning of the Tezmekal ceremony, I'm so sorry, I'm butchering this word, you start in the cenote, then you come out and do the ceremony where you're giving thanks to Mother Nature. And then you proceed with a shaman to go into this sauna. And the sauna, again, it's like an igloo. It's indoors, and they create a fire in the middle of it. Not fire. They take coal, like hot stones, and put them in the middle, which creates steam. And so the shaman with an assistant comes in, and they lead you through this like 4-part ceremony. And each part is reflective of different points in your life where you're meant to like connect with things that you need to let go of. You need to connect with things that, are really challenging for you. So it's pretty emotional. You have to share these things as well too. And during each 4 of these periods, these rounds, the inside of this igloo, it gets hotter and hotter. So it gets more challenging. It gets harder to focus. It gets harder. It just gets harder mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm glad I did it. I never will do it again, but I will say for someone who is like looking for something that is challenging, something, to test maybe their bounds, that's definitely something to do. And going through it like with an actual shaman was an interesting activity. I will absolutely never forget it. I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to do it, but man, it was a challenge for sure. But it like just goes back to like the thoughtfulness of all the programming, and that it's so unique. It is so different than anywhere else. I want to say anywhere else in the world.
So we did get to sit in the igloo after our massages, and one of the workers there, she did bring in some hot stones, and she poured water on the hot stones. So it was very much like a sauna. And I remember my favorite thing about that was she gave us a little, I guess it was a half a coconut or a coconut shell full of aloe and clay.
Oh yeah, you loved that.
Oh my God. It felt it was so hot in there, and I felt like all the toxins were flowing out of my body. And then I got to take the aloe and the clay, and I got to rub it all over it just felt so great.
Yeah.
It felt so great. I really liked it in there. I liked the feeling of intense heat though. And then after that, we jumped into cenote to cleanse ourselves. Yeah, that was a really great experience.
Yeah, it was super, super interesting. I mean, and of course, okay, so in addition to all these things that for some people you might be overwhelmed by, there's of course the beach. There's of course the pool. There are non-motorized ocean activities, like for other things that you might want to do. But when you come to a place like this, you would just, like, please immerse yourself in all these things. I promise you, like, it will have a profound effect. You'll just have a new appreciation.
You can't not mention the hot and cold plunge pools that they have, though. Those were absolutely amazing.
Oh, this is, a new addition since the last time I was there in the last couple of years. They added these little hot and cold plunge pools. And the first time we did it, the cold was like, it seemed palatable isn't the correct word. It seemed manageable for me. But then the second day we did it, I think someone was like, oh no, we got to make this colder, because it was like jumping in an ice cube bath. It was terrible.
It felt great. I did not think it was terrible at all. It took me some time to get used to it, but like after running in 80, 90 degree weather down there and then coming back or doing like super hot yoga, I want to go over to that plunge pool, and then cool myself off in the plunge pool, get in the hot, get in the cold, get in the hot, get in the cold. I loved it.
You're making yourself out to be much stronger about this than you actually were. I did not take a picture of this, but or a video. I should have taken a video. There were multiple points when you were whining that you did not think that you would be able to get in it fully.
It takes time. I adjusted to it, but by the end, I did it every day. I really enjoyed doing it. That's one of my favorite things, but
okay. Anyway, and actually I've been remiss, we did touch on it just a tiny bit maybe at the very beginning, but the staff I feel really deserve their own special call out. I actually asked one of the salespeople, where do you find these people? Because everyone you meet, they just have such a generous spirit to them. They genuinely want to chat with you. They are so warm and welcoming, and they make you feel like you're at home and you've just been welcomed into theirs. And it was just really, really lovely. So many people, I really wanted to just spend time, tell me more about you. Obviously they're working, you have to be respectful of that. Don't drag someone on forever, but just really, really special people that really still they embody the spirit of this place. And so the person I asked there, how do you find these people? And she said, honestly, I feel like this place draws people to it. And I could honestly believe that. I'm a true believer. This, you have to be a special person to, kind of work there and embody all of that. And to then also work with the public day in and day out and have such a genuine, just lovely character about you. 1,000 out of 10 again for all of the staff there.
They were my favorite part of the trip. I think every staff member that we talked to in every part of that hotel, from the instructors and the wellness classes to the people serving your food, to the people cleaning your room, to the people you just pass by as you're walking through the resort. They were so wonderful. Many people might not know this, but because you speak a little Spanish, they might have thought you.
I speak a little more than a little. Thank you very much.
Fluent. You're
I am not almost fluent. I am intermediate level. Let's not be confused here.
So anyway, I think they took an extra special liking to you because you were this loco white chica, and they were just
I was a what?
A loco white chica. I think they had a really good talking
Matt's
to you.
Duolingo is still not paying off.
I think when you come at them and you speak the language really, really well, they're not expecting that from
no, they're not expecting that from us. A white gringa.
So anyway, but I think that I think you're right. 1,000 out of 10. They were awesome.
And your stay starts, you're introduced to what is considered a nomadic guide. And a nomadic guide is like your personal concierge. And so you're connected to them throughout your stay via WhatsApp. And so they're there to help you book dinner reservations. They're there to answer any questions, to like grab you more kombucha if you run out in your room, like whatever you need, they're there. And so we had 2 during our stay. And their names were Karen and Esteban. And they were just such fabulous people. I remember like the first time, so we met Karen in person when we first arrived, which was lovely. But then we didn't meet Esteban until a couple days in. And so when we met them in person, it was kind of like meeting a friend. They were like, oh my gosh, it's you. Like, let's chat. Yeah, we were going in to do something, so like it wasn't possible. But it was just really, really fabulous. Really, really great. Anyway, continuing on. I mean, we've covered a whole lot. Is there anything that we haven't covered?
I mean, I think we covered this place like inside and outside.
I mean, we could continue on forever.
Now, like,
yeah, right. If you don't,
I don't know what's wrong with them. I think
me neither.
I think we've talked this place up.
And yes, absolutely. So obviously, it's evident from I think this conversation that we both would go back. Do you have any other final tips for people going?
Like I said earlier, I think you just go in and you immerse yourself in everything that the Palmaïa has to offer, from like the wellness to the food. I don't even think if you're a big drinker or something like that, maybe this is the time you let go of some of that. Take a break and just allow yourself to disconnect from the things that you do on a regular basis at home and try something different. That's the advice that I would give. Yeah. But try it for sure. But go. Like, you will love this place. Yeah. And don't have any reservations about it.
Yeah. My advice is stay longer.
Which we did. Yes.
Yeah. We actually added on an extra day. I wish I would have done it from the start. But really, like, treat yourself if you can. This is a really special experience. Like, give it the time and space to really enjoy it, and some people will say, well, it's just like too expensive. Like, if you're saving for something, really special, like this is the thing to like save for, so that you can like fully enjoy it. And, all of these wonderful things, like your unlimited smoothie bowls and turmeric shots and tacos, like all of that's included in your yoga sessions. And like, it's just like, honestly, it's a really, really fabulous value when you look at everything that's a part of it.
I think if people have questions that they 100% could reach out, because I know that you would talk about this.
Yeah, I would talk about it until I'm blue in the face. Absolutely.
An entire week, if you could. That's how much you enjoy it.
Yeah. So I guess we will leave it there. That if anybody after listening to this episode, you're like, I want to go. Like, can you help me get this booked? Oh my gosh, yes, of course. Please shoot me an email. Maybe I'll give you something a little special for it. Often when I book different properties and stuff for people, there might be some special perks that go along with it. So don't ever hesitate to reach out. And I think with that, thanks for joining me to chat about this lovely Disneyland place. And now I'm going to go and think about when we can return.
I agree. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a review. If you'd also like to learn more about upcoming Veggies Abroad tours or get additional travel help, visit veggiesabroad.com and also join our newsletter. It's the best way to stay up to date with loads of new content, like where to find gorgeous vegan hotels, what to eat in cities around the world, trip planning tips, and so much more. Well, that's all I've got for now. Until next time.